You guys ready to draw some more Fortnite characters? Because I know I am. Today, we're going to be learning how to draw Lynx Stage, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's hop into the drawing scene right here. Oh my god, it's a blank screen. I have a blank canvas, and I'm making a new layer, and I'm going to start with brush size 10 pixels. And we're going to start by drawing her head. It's important to draw the character's head first before you go into, like, the body, because if you just draw the body and then draw the head, you might draw it out of proportion and it won't look right. But I mean, each to their own. Maybe you're good at drawing the body first and the head, but for novices, I know you always start with drawing the head. So let's go ahead and start drawing a loose face shape here, and really nice small chin, and it's gonna widen out at the cheekbone, or not cheekbone, the jawline. And then we're going to move onwards into the cheekbone, which is basically just a smooth curve, and that turns into the side of her head. And now I am going to draw her ears, and then the shape of her top of the head, and then her other ear. Just like that. Very simple. And I just drew some light definition to give those ears some dimension. And now I'm going to draw the eyes, the eyepiece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw just a line that kind of comes in at the center, and then it crosses over and goes to the other side like that. Now we're going to draw the eyes, and her eyes are very angular, and there's only a small amount of them visible. I think I'm going to erase this part because that's a little too, long. And then I'm going to draw the other eye. And try to draw this symmetrical as possible. Like, I didn't do it right there. That's not what you want. You don't want this side to be drawn longer than the other side because she is in a 3/4 view. Now we're going to draw some definition in her mask, just to add some dimension to the mask. Use thin lines for these details because you don't want to take away from the overall line art. Use extra thin lines for some more mask detailing, like this. That's good. And now I'm going to move downwards into her neck. And nice, slender, long neck. Long, but the width isn't too thick to make her look like, she's some kind of Arnold thick muscular neck. You don't want that. So you want to make that neck nice and thin, but not too thin where it looks like, her neck could snap her head off any minute. But we're gonna go and start drawing the collar piece. Alright, just like that, comes in like that. You don't see much of the collarbone itself, just the edge of it. And then we're going to work on her shoulders. Okay. Screwed up there. And we're going to do, I feel like I want to draw her boobies. Okay, her boobies are pretty big, and I know you 12-year-old boys like that stuff, so drawing her boobs extra big. Alright, so we got 2 big melons for the boobs. And now I'm going to draw a hand kind of cusped onto the top part of that boob to make it look extra seductive and delicious for you boys. So I'm going to start with the index finger first, a bit of a claw, then the middle finger, and then what is that, the ring finger? That would be the ring finger. And then right here, we're going to draw the pinky to kind of make it look like, her pinky's falling off that grip. Then we're going to draw some definition in her neck there. And now I'm going to kind of finish drawing her arm. So nice, slender, but shapely bicep. And then it's going to come into a nice, even forearm, like that. I'm gonna put some thin lines in there for some muscular definition. Now I'm gonna draw some of her armor or her gear, like her shoulder piece here, and I'm feeling like I want to draw her little, I don't know, looks like a belt that kind of cups underneath her arms, like that, and some more markings on her suit. I think if you're gonna draw Lynx, you definitely want to draw her stage 3 skin, because it's the coolest skin, I think, in my opinion. And I don't even play Fortnite. I just like the character designs. They're pretty interesting to look at and draw. Alright, so we're gonna come in and finish some of the boobies. And now we're gonna draw some of her torso. And female torsos, they're nice and wide at the top so they can hold all that baggage on the top, you know what I mean? And then it comes into a nice slender waist and then a nice big round booty, okay? So we're gonna draw a nice wide torso right here, and you're gonna want to put a little edge there coming out for some rib definition. And then we're gonna go and kind of slim the lines down into a waist like this. Alright, like that. Now we're gonna draw the big old round booty. So let's go and draw a nice big round shape for her butt, on that side of the butt anyways. And then we're going to draw the other leg that kind of hides underneath that foreleg, like that. See how nice and shapely she looks? It's pretty cool. I love drawing female bodies. They're just so much fun. There's so much curves to play with, and it's just a lot of fun. Alright, so now I'm going to finish her leg here. And I don't like how that line looks sharp like that. I want it to be nice and curvy. There we go. And now I'm going to draw her markings in her suit. And this is where a lot of people, they get a little daunted by it, because there's just so much detailing in her suit. So we're going to go line by line, and we're going to go with these two dividing lines here in the center. And you're not going to see much of it on the other side because she is in this angle. And then we're going to draw these other, or some other intersecting lines here. That, this is the red colored area right here. Some more markings. Oops. And little markers kind of coming into her design. Just like that. Looks good so far, I think. I mean, it's kind of sketchy, but whatever. And then we're going to draw the marking on her leg. And guys, we're totally almost done. And then I'm going to draw her hand. And she has gloves on, so don't forget to draw them gloved. So we're going to have... We're going to start with the thumb first, after drawing the top part of a glove, like that. Okay, and I'm going to draw her index finger. Just like that. Alright, and lastly, I'm going to finish this piece with her tail. Just check over. Oops, I'm gonna draw some arm over here because you're gonna be able to see some arm, even though most of it is hidden. But looks pretty good. I like it so far. Let's hop on over into the coloring process, and that's my favorite part, honestly. Okay, so I totally forgot to record the beginning of the coloring because I was drawing this, or coloring this live, so I went for, like I always do, a flat base color that's usually darker, and then I just layer on highlights as I progress throughout the artwork. And as you can see, there is some red underglow underneath her breasts, so that's just to highlight that underside because of the red markings on her suit that kind of reflects light onto the breast area. And I'm just going throughout the drawing, coloring, you know, I'm right here with the fingernails, I'm adding like shadows underneath those nails to add dimension, like the hand is overlaid onto that torso area. Then I'm just filling in the black markings of her suit and adding more highlights, just building blocks of highlights. And I'm using soft brushes with a mix of like hard brushes for certain parts of the highlighting process. And I like to do a lot of rim light highlights around the edges of the body to kind of enhance her form. But you got to be careful when you're doing the rim lights, because if you add too much of it, you will lose your piece's form, or the character's form, the foreground. It will start to look washed out and just blend right into the background, and you don't want that. You want to make the character seem like they're made up of shapes that have depth to it and dimension. And I'm just adding more shadows, just building shadows and highlights, making sure my values look balanced. And I'm adding some, with a soft airbrush, I'm adding in some glow around her eyes and her fingernails. I'm just adding like a glow around the edges of her body, like I said, with the rim light, but just not as bold of a line or solid lines around it. And that's pretty much it, I think. And I went for like a reddish background, but then I go and change that all up later on in Photoshop. I wanted to have her really stand out, and I wasn't really satisfied with the background that I ended the video here with. So I just screwed around a little bit with Photoshop and ended up to the piece that you see right here. And that concludes the video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, click the bell icon so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And don't forget to hit subscribe. If you didn't find this drawing video helpful, be sure to go to DrawingHUB.com, where you get the step-by-step drawing tutorial video, which is provided in the description below. So be sure to check that out. It's awesome stuff. You can learn how to draw pretty much anything, like Fortnite characters and pop culture characters, anything like that. I also draw live right here on YouTube and also on Twitch TV on the weekdays from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Usually, though, I'm streaming around 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you want to watch awesome art being drawn, hit me up on the YouTube live stream. Thanks so much for viewing, guys, and I hope you stay tuned for other videos.